Hello, darling. Welcome or welcome back. It's Lady Draws a Lot. I am an illustrator and a comic book artist, and I'm here today for another unboxing, using, and review of Sketchbox. Now, this happens to be the January Sketchbox. It's January, guys. January.
January! Can you believe it?
I hope you guys had a great holiday season. January always carries that feeling of renewal. Of course, it's the new year. Yeah, we've got resolutions to keep or not. It's that relief almost that the holidays are behind us. Now, of course, the holidays are wonderful. We all have fun on the maybe not all of us have fun on the holidays, but hopefully we're having a good time during the holiday season, but they are a lot. After they've passed, I kind of always feel like January is almost like a vacation sort of feeling, even though I go straight back to work and I go straight back into my schedule, but somehow it always feels like a vacation. Oddly. I don't know. Let me know if I'm alone here, if anybody out there has that same sort of vibe to their January. Enough with that. Let's open this box, see what's inside, and let's get creative. All right, so this is what we have in this month's box. So let's start with the paper here. I'm gonna mispronounce this, I'm sure, but Hahnemuhle. Gosh darn it, I just shouldn't even try. You can read it there. That's the brand there. And this is a hot press watercolor paper, probably quite smooth in texture. I haven't opened that yet, but I'll report back on the texture. Here we have Inktense Paint Pan set by Derwent. The Inktense are almost like watercolor, but it's ink, so it's permanent when it's dry, it's buildable color, and it doesn't wash out the same way that watercolor does. And then we have these Derwent Inktense pencils, and so this is a set of like watercolor pencils, of course, but with the Inktense ink inside there. So a nice set of colors there. And then for the paint pans, this is the color set there. And then we have a Princeton 1/2 inch Lunar blender. So that looks like a nice brush there. So excited to try that out. So the prompt for this month is change. I'll have to think about that before I sit down here and make some art, but all right, let's get to work. All right, so here is where I landed with my piece on the prompt change. So I thought, what changes more than a little sprout in springtime growing from the ground? It's just changes almost right before your eyes. I almost went with a butterfly, but you know, I thought that was a pretty obvious thing to do, so I tried to think of something else. So that's where I landed with it. All right, so let's talk about all the things that came in the box this month. Let's start with the paper. This paper has a very fine texture to it. It's not entirely smooth, but it doesn't have much of a tooth to it. Took the watercolor or water-based materials very well and held up to sort of some scrubbing. So I'd say this is a really nice paper. It retails for $6.95, and I think that's a fair price. And yeah, I'd buy this paper again. I think it's nice. So this brush, almost a little stiff. So I think this brush, I'd like to use this brush with some acrylic or some oil. And I think this brush would really stand out with those mediums. I don't think this particular brush was the right choice for this medium. I don't think it's a bad brush, but if I was trying to work with watercolors or these water-based inks, I would not recommend this. It's a little stiff, I think, for the medium. That said, it's probably a really good brush for oils or acrylics. So I guess that's what I could say. It's probably a good brush, but not for this medium. This brush retails at $7.35. I don't think that's a bad price for this brush. I would like to try it with some mediums that have more weight to them. All right, so let's talk about the Inktense Pan set. I think we can talk about all of these pretty much at one time because this is just the pencil version of the pan. I think these are really cool. You can really build on the color. It's permanent once it dries, and the colors are very vibrant too. So these are really nice to work with. They work really well also with ink pens. If you're going to do an ink drawing, these just work really well. This is not the first time I've tried Inktense paint before. I just wanted to show you a piece that I did prior to this. I did this one a little while ago, but you can see it works really well when you're using like ink brush pens, also some white paint there to pop out the highlights. So it's really nice and it stays that strong, vibrant color. So I think the name Inktense is perfect for what it is. All right, so the Inktense paint pan set runs for $19.99, and I think that is expensive, but it's a good price for what this product is. It is a good product, and honestly, these paint pans are gonna last a long time. So I do think that is worthwhile, and you can probably catch it on sale sometimes as well. So the pencil set is much like the pans. If you've ever used watercolor pencils, they are pretty much the same thing, just using the Inktense ink. These retail for $20.34. Again, a little pricey, but for what they are, they're a very good product and will last you a good while too. So all in all, I would say these are great, and I would absolutely purchase these again. I would use them again. I think they're great, and I think they're worth dabbling into if you like the watercolor medium. Try this and see what you think. I think that brings us to the end here. I thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Bye.